Hello, YouTube. I wanted to come on and tell you guys a story. So I was homeless. This is a couple years ago. I was homeless at the time, and it was kind of late at night. I wasn't on any stimulants or anything, but I was still awake, and I got really hungry. And I wasn't aware of the time really. So I went to Carl Jr. And there's been times where you could go through the drive-through. And sometimes they'll serve you, but it's different these days. Everything's different since COVID, and all that. But so I wound up just sitting on the bench there, like the little table, to the side, the outdoor eating area, and like I guess he was unmarked security in the truck. I've seen those, yeah, unmarked security. Well, he comes up and says, "I gotta leave," and I said, "Well, I'm hungry." He says, "Go to some place." And fast gas. And well, I wanted a better meal. It was like Halloween season. I wanted something with like pumpkin, pumpkin pancakes. So I went to IHOP, International House of Pancakes, and I was addicted to nicotine at the time, tobacco, and so I was smoking a couple cigarettes out front before I was going to go in and eat. And this officer of the law pulls up and says my name somehow, Sarkis, and reaches over their door. And see, you got to understand, I was living in my car shortly before that, and I was constantly being approached by law officers, and something clicked in my back part of my brain, flight or freeze, because it was so much so often. I wound up running from my car, and so this is a few like half a week later. Um, when they did that, I automatically started running. At first, I was going to run into IHOP, and then I let go of the door, and then I was going to run this way. Then I was going to run past the officer, and I did. And I hopped the little wall, and I sat down and started meditating. And as soon as I opened my eyes, I looked back. Another officer had seen me and tackled me while I was on the ground. And please forgive me if I seem biased. I'm not. Uh, I'm just trying to tell the story, and for therapeutic purposes of, of sorts. And well, what happened after that was they grabbed my legs and were running my knees into my stomach, and I was like, "What in the world is going on?" I was in disbelief, and you guys can see I have both eyes, so this part's not going to make sense, but I'm going to get into it in a second. I had gotten up, and one officer had jumped and shot me in the eye. I saw it happen. It was pretty crazy. That was this eye. I have another story about what happened to this eye around that time, but it was this eye, and everything went gray. Well, basically, I found out way later that there's these like non-lethal projectile gun pistol thingies, and it disoriented me. I was seeing all grayscale. All right, so everything was different shades of gray, and then I kind of started hallucinating because I was freaking out because I looked down and one of the officers had a piece of bacon coming out of his shoe, and then there was this other disorientation of deja vu that had happened before. So I was hysterical, and they hooked up these things to my chest. I think they had to check see if my chest was okay. I wound up having breathing problems later on. Like a few months later, it was as if there was a hole in my lung, and like a lady at the smoke shop said, "Are you sure you should be smoking?" Okay, so so they put me in the cruiser. That's the cop car in the back, and I lied down, and I was having all these visions of like it was total of people being attacked by like police, and they got to they pulled up to where they were going to have me held, and there was like I was seeing this like lady over there with like pails or something like water pails, and then they shut the screen so like they didn't want to hear me, and I don't remember too much from there, but I remember I got into the place, and the jailhouse, and I was like jumping up and up and up, and so you got to bear with me because I was trying to like teleport out of there. Okay, and they wanted to throw me into solitary confinement, and it was no bed, no blanket. They took off my bottom, my the, the thing with my pockets because it had my wallet. I think I put together later, but they took that. I had nothing but a shirt on, and there was just nothing in there but a toilet attached to the water source, and it was filthy in there too. Um, and it was strange because at another point I was in another one of them, and there was like this things at the top, where at the top of the ceiling that you've seen like the movie the boy in the pajama pants, where the colonel, the Nazi colonel's son goes winds up in the showers. Sorry if it's trigger subject, but I swear that they had that there because unless it was from that projectile pepper spray thing, had me so disoriented uh, that 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 I felt like it felt like the thing was moving. So at one point it felt like it was like uh, Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, the original movie, where at the end they're flying around and stuff in the elevator. It felt like that. At one point it felt like it came out from the southern hemisphere and made it back. Um, yeah, it was interesting. And so I was in there for like about 3 days. And I think, at least I thought, I don't know what it was now in Arizona, but you have to see the judge the next morning, or if it's Friday or Saturday or Sunday, Monday morning. Okay. Because they took me from there, they took me to a whole nother, not only different city, but a different county to be held even longer. And I was doing a meditation thing, and I feel like I turned to smoke. I was just remembering this last night because the guard was yelling at me, "Hey, hey, hey, hey!" And he like, and then like it pulled me together. I was scared to open my eyes because I didn't know what would happen, being like a cloud of smoke is, uh, and then opening my eyes. But yeah, it was interesting. So they threw me in the hole, and they kept demanding I give an X-ray. Maybe it's because it was early on when with that disorientation, non-lethal self-protection thing. And anyways, to make a long story short, we'll get back to this story another time. They brought me back to the other city in the other county and go before, and the charge was trespassing at Carl's Jr. Um, so I pleaded guilty because I did not want to go back to either of those other places. But I did dumb me. I mean, not dumb me, but like serious me. I said, but I'm not pleading guilty. I'm pleading no contest. And when I was before the judge, I had to stand on this pad. I don't know what that is, but I had to stand on this pad. And by the way, I almost got assaulted in the holding cell right before the hearing because I had to use the restroom. Man, I'm sorry. Um, yeah, this guy tackled me off the toilet. Um, and but I made sure the judge knew uh, I'm pleading no contest. I'm not pleading guilty. I'm pleading no contest to trespassing. At in other places, it's known Hardee's. I don't know if it's a global place. It's a fast food burger joint. It's like a fancy McDonald's. Probably about the same price these days. Um, McDonald's got a cool name, man. Anyways, thanks for hearing my story, TikTok.